It's the Daily Comedy News with your host, Mark Pires. Join us for breaking headlines and all kinds of comedy shenanigans. Brought to you by The Beat Seat.
Welcome, my friends. Good morning. Day 1947 in a row of the MarkinsPires show, and we're getting right into it. That's what we do here. Lots going on in the world today. Hail, damaging winds threaten hard-hit heartland. That is devastation right there. Is that really from hail? I saw some hail in China. It was boulder-sized hail. This lady's bigger than the lady. She's standing next to it like this. It looked like Stonehenge fell out of the sky. I'm gonna see if I can find that for you. Look at this. She's giving the report. There's a tornado in the background. You see it over my shoulder. Welcome. If you're out there, you should be saying hello like Harvey is. Harvey, how are you? So good to see you. If you're out on Clapper, which doesn't seem like anybody's out on Clapper, I think I'm gonna get rid of Clapper, and we're gonna go over to TikTok. We'll bring TikTok into it. Tornado ravaged states, they say. Oklahoma, Kansas, done. There's no more states. They're done. It's like just raised land. They're like, what do we do with what used to be Kansas and Oklahoma? It's a shame, guys, when you have the news of the day. The states are gone. Also, the state of Israel. There's a lot going on there, as you may or may not have heard. I'm trying to see if I can update this. I got some weird picture in the background over here. Comedy news. Guys, what's going on over there in Hayes and Salina? Huh? You know, this would have been good if I put on TikTok at the beginning, but I just decided not to. You know, I said I'll go with Clapper instead. All right, so we're into it. The news, we're doing it. Oh, one more thing. Let me just put something else out there for a background because that's stupid. All right, that's good. It's just like a background image. All right, that's good. So, another round of severe weather targeting areas of the plains and Midwest that were hit hard by a deadly tornado outbreak over the weekend, giving those who lost everything little time to catch their breath as they try and sift through what's left of their homes and businesses. Breaking news, the government gave them $400 each. That worked. Isn't that what happened? Something like that in Maui? They got like $400, giving debit cards out left and right if you're not from the country. If you're from the country and you have damage, we step in buying like half a week of groceries for you. Fox Forecast Center said Tuesday's severe weather threat is being driven by a dip in the jet stream driving across the northern Rockies. I don't know if you saw that happening, but it's driving very fast across the Rockies. A return of low-level moisture will stream northward through the day. We're gonna go northward throughout the day from the southern plains to the central plains. But the tornado threat appears to be lower than what occurred over the weekend, as the richest moisture won't be pulled that far north. Guys, the pressure is gonna stay low enough. Nevertheless, thunderstorms will develop along a cold front moving through the region during the afternoon hours. We'll move into the environment rich of energy and wind. What? Oh, Zabrowski's here, guys. He's giving us a woohoo to start the day, comedy news style. Zabrowski, you did it again. Every day, Zabrowski hits us with a woohoo. When you have it, you know what I mean? When you're the only show on the internet that has a woohoo. You know? Anyway, guys, clusters of strong and severe thunderstorms will move into the eastern Nebraska and Iowa region, likely over the same areas that saw strong tornadoes on Friday. I don't know if you noticed the tornadoes that we're talking about here, the devastation that ensued. Buildings, you know, Nebraska and Kansas no longer exist. They're trying to they're bringing in infrastructure. Again, new roads, new people. There's nobody left, unfortunately. You got to say a prayer for those. A couple million. I don't know. Sometimes the comedy gets a little dark. Anyway, however, the main threats appear to be large hail and damaging wind gusts. Again, Chinese lady standing next to a boulder-sized hail that fell in her yard on her Tercel. She had the 86 Toyota Tercel, you know, in rust crap brown. You guys remember that one? As of Monday, NOAA, what the hell is NOAA's Storm Prediction Center? The Northern Oceanic Americana Aviation's Storm? What the hell is NOAA's? Usually they tell us what an NOAA is, you know? Anyway, we don't know what NOAA is, but the Storm Prediction Center at NOAA's has placed more than 5.6 million people, you know, in portions of South Dakota, Minnesota, Scoop, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. And is it Missouri? Missouri? How do you say it again? Somebody, is it Missouri or is it Missouri? Missouri. I think it's Missouri. I'm going to say Missouri. Okay, so let's go back. South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, you know. Didn't mess that up on the first time around. But Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. Level 2 out of 5. The threat is a 5-point severe thunderstorm risk scale, guys, if you didn't know about it. You heard it here first. MarkinsPires News. The severe weather threat returns to the plains and Midwest on Wednesday, but it will be centered, you know, a bit further west. You know, it's centered west. We're centering it and then we're going west with it across the portions of the southern Nebraska, central Kansas, and western Oklahoma and Texas regions. Again, remember, Kansas no longer exists, though. It's gone. Hail the size of a freaking Buick. About 2 million people are at the level 2 of 5 risk. You know, again, you're going to want to make sure you're out of Kansas, and Wichita, and Salina. Remember we were just talking about Selena? I wrote a song called Super Selena. It's beautiful. You should check it out. It's on YouTube. It will be on the next album, although there's so many songs. I don't know what the hell I'm going to put on this next album, guys. I mean, I'm seriously concerned because we have about 26 songs, 28 songs since my last album that I put out, and I have to pick 13? Like, what are we freaking talking about here? I think we're going to do my new idea, which is to put a new song out every week or something on iTunes, and then after 13 are done, I'll put it in an album, and then I'll just keep putting a song out each week on iTunes, and that's just it from now on. There's a new album called, it's a new song called an album. Each week it's a new album, and it's one song, and every freaking week of the year you're going to have a new one. I think that's what I'm doing. Screw it. That's what I was going to tell you what my whole plan was. Not to put out 13 song albums anymore. Maybe I will still put out the 13th, you know, when the 13 are out, I'll just put a 13th song album of those out. But it's going to be singles going forward because nobody freaking listens to albums. It sucks. Nobody has the attention span to go through and listen to 13 ridiculously awesome songs. Singularity, my last album, literally not a bad song on that album. And all of them were written live on this show. So if you're looking for something unique, subscribe. Turn on all notifications. I've been here for 1,947 days in a row. We're just 3 days away from 1950. Quite a year as well. Maybe we'll do a little overview of what happened in the year 1950. A day 1950 in a row. Wood. Mando. Everybody have Mando. I just built a mandolin. I'll be showing it to you later. Put the neck on last night. I tried to build another neck. It didn't freaking work out, you know. DM Ryan, how are you, my friend? J.E., good to see you. Oh, good. You know, this has like been funny comedy news to start the show. And YouTube, you're a bunch of dicks. That's all I'll say. All right, let's go back to it. Here we go. Where was our story? We had a news story here. Hit Heartland, hit Heartland. Oh, goodness. In addition to the severe weather threat, flash flooding is also a concern. Moses and Noah, you know. We're going biblical on this one. Kansas, Nebraska. What's next? Missouri? So, guys, that's the first news story of the day. Heartland. It's being hit, damaged by hail the size of your mama's old, you know, Cadillac Supreme. The Cutlass Supreme. She had the Cutlass. Okay. A little girl thought monsters were in her bedroom. Under the bed. No. 60,000 bees Like, imagine. Mommy, there's someone in my room. Shut up, stupid kid. There's nothing in your room. I hear them. They're in the wall. They're trying to come after me. And they keep whispering to me. I hear them murmuring. How do you know the word murmur? Shut up, dummy. Wait, that is weird. What is that noise? Is someone in your closet? No, there's 60,000 bees in your closet. Welcome to the freaking Amityville Horror 2024. When 3-year-old sailor class began complaining of monsters in her bedroom, Amityville, her parents thought it was just a figment of the child's overactive imagination. Shut your freaking hell, stupid face up, sailor. We don't need to hear from you. You're a 6-year-old. You're dumb, all right? Clearly. Just monsters in my room. Yeah, I had them too when I was a kid, dummy. Just go back to bed, you know? Just grab a bat. You give the bat in case it comes out from under the bed, you know, and then you could bang the thing in the head with a bat. You nogged it, you know? You give a left-handed swing in the nog, you know? And that happened. Carla, thank you so much for the love on a TikTok. Guys, we're here doing it. Sailor, she's 6. She's complaining of monsters. The parents are getting abusive, mentally. Sailor, shut your mouth. Are you complaining again about the dumb monsters in your room? Come down and get your corn and mashed potatoes. Oh, gosh. What, you really want me to go and check in your stupid room? Gosh almighty, did you clean it? Did you clean the room? Because you know I told you got to clean your room first. You want me to go in there. I'm sick of it. I walk in there, I'm tripping on things. The other day I stepped on a Lego. In my foot. Not on, you know, I stepped on it. It's like, it's in my freaking foot still. I got to go see the doctor tomorrow. They're doing emergency surgery. Yeah, sure, I'll go take a look, you know. Honey, I think there are monsters in Sailor's room. Bark, bark, bark. Oh, watch, hey. Right? You know? All of a sudden, Edith Bunker. She comes out of nowhere. Should we call the exterminator? Oh, shut up there, Edith. Right? Everybody's doing it. Oh, goodness, you know. Sometimes you just have to let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. I just wrote this 4 days ago. Let the good times roll. You gotta let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Yeah. Oh, let the good times roll. Woo! I'll be editing that song for you. That'll go on a future album. I don't know if is that making it on this album. I may have to just put like 13 totally pop type tunes like that. And then like Touch the Stars and all these sick tunes that are just like so pop. I mean, not that I'm a pop, I just write everything. But that song right there is for the world. I mean. Let the good times. Woo! I love that whistle I put in the background too. That's cool. Anyway, guys, every night we write at least one song, so make sure you subscribe. Turn on all notifications. The MarkinsPires Show. I invented the only drum in the world for guitar players. It's the only drum you could sit upright and play with your hands and feet at the same time. And you can play your guitar and kick it. It sounds like a drum kit. It's ridiculous. I play it every night. Everything you're hearing is with that. It's the beat seat drives it. So check it out at beatseat.rocks. Anyway, back to the news. 30,000 bees, 60,000 bees. 60,000 bees. Sailor class was an idiot, dummy. Her parents were freaking yelling at her, you know. And then all of a sudden, they're like, wait a second, I think there's monsters in Sailor's room. They called the exorcist guy and you know they wanted him to come down. He brought his priest gear. He just came in smoking a cigarette, you know. He's like, oh god, I got that gig. He throws on, you know, got the collar, ties up his black shirt with the collar, you know. He walks in, he's ready to go, you know. You know, he's doing it. He's speaking tongues, getting rid of the devil spirit that's in Sailor's room, clearly. I'm sorry? It's not a devil's... What? It's 60,000 bees? You know. Sometimes Sailor's in it, you know, and you feel kind of bad because you yelled at her the whole time, telling her she's a dummy. she could be still a dummy. We're not really sure. We didn't really get the full scoop from her. Likely a dummy. Anyway, Sailor had complained of monsters in the wall. Her mother, Ashley, masked his class, and her husband thought nothing of it. Again, they were just yelling at her. Shut up, you dummy! Oh, goodness. That's how it goes every once in a while, guys. Give me a minute here. Gamma mono. Gamma mono. Gamma mono. So play for a second.
Should take your car out for a ride. Yeah, you're looking outside at all the changes going on around you.
Guys, this is a song right here. This is on my last album called Singularity. Make sure you get it. It's on YouTube. It's on iTunes. Just freaking support a brother. Buy an album. You know, I got 16 of them. You could buy any of them. They're all awesome. We write them all here in the moment. There's nothing until there's something. And then when there's something, it's at least a moment that you're listening to. This is something that happened. This isn't something that I wrote and then I came out with this pen, this pencil here, and I'm like, I'm going to make sure I say from the outside looking out, whatever, you know. I'm not going to go and say whatever with the pen anymore. We do that. I mean, sometimes I got 130 songs with a pencil, but I write live now. I just like the feeling and I like where the moment takes me. And sometimes it brings us to an amazing experience. And then I want to then catalog that, edit it down into an actual song. But everything you're seeing is the mind of creativity taking place. It is literally the moment of creation. And it's like, I don't care if it sucks in a second or something, because that's happened. This isn't like a planned event. That's what I love about it. This is like, okay, where are we going next? I don't know, but I'm going to try my best to have some fun. And then at the end, some beautiful things take place. You know, it's really something. Look at that. This right here, you see the glowing image? That's the demon inside there. That's when they call it the exorcist guy come in. The Warrens came down to see if they could bless the house. You know, didn't work. No, I'm sorry. Do we have Elgato? Good, I'm glad we don't. Helen Gale Townsend in the house, killing it, gorilla. Dear Brian J. Guys, see, I was close. National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. I said National Oceanic Americana, you know, something association. I didn't say the association thing, I think. I'm so glad you're here, Helen. Thank you so much for being here. Kill it and grill it. I love it. If you're out there and you're just lurking right now, say hello. We're here on a daily basis to just get into the news. No politics here. My idea is let's talk about things non-political, comedy stories, or things that are like sometimes really dark stories. I just make comedy out of it. Like I feel like everything you can make comedy out of. I have to, because we have enough dread and fear mongering in the news. I choose to be a comedy news show and just make as much silly noise as we go, but none of the noise. This is the just get into the fun noise. So I don't know. These stories get me pissed off with prenups and stuff. Giselle cried during a traffic stop in Miami. Now someone's complaining to the cops. Uh-oh. It's never fun getting pulled over, but Giselle Bundchen, Tom Brady's ex, had an especially tough time last week near her home in Surfside, Florida. The supermodel is shown in police body cam footage breaking down in tears last Wednesday, even after a traffic cop tells her that she wasn't getting a ticket for the alleged erratic driving. Look, I'm not giving you a ticket, all right? You're Giselle Bundchen. I know you went through a divorce recently. Tom Brady, you know, iron chin, you know, and then you're back at it again with some like freaking fitness guy. Whatever you're doing, that's cool. Like, I'm okay with it, you know? We're not giving you a ticket today, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please stop? Ma'am, can you shut the fucking hell up, ma'am? Look, I know you're a supermodel. Can you act like a supermodel? Be super in this moment, okay? No crying. There's no crying when you're not getting a ticket. You know, she cried. Bundchen, who was behind the wheel of a gray Mercedes G-Wagon, 200K, thanks the officer for his courtesy and then adds she's being chased by the paparazzi type. By a paparazzi type. I'm trying to stay away from that guy. Like, he's stalking me. She said it with her Brazilian accent. The cop says he understands a little bit because she sometimes, when she gets like excited, she's like Hilaria Baldwin. She just starts going straight up Spanish / like, she's doing it. She's speaking Portuguese again. The guy's like, I don't speak Portuguese, ma'am. You're in America. Giselle, I know you're traveling the globe, and maybe you were in Brazil last week, but now you're in America, Surfside, Florida, you know. She advises her to file a police report, says Tom Brady's ex, crying. So, I'm sorry, she tells the mother, dude, there's nothing I can do about that. I didn't give you a freaking ticket, and you're crying. There's no crying in police tickets when you're not getting one. Bundchen, you know. I want to see the, oh, there it is. Is this, should we look at the video of her crying? I kind of want to see it. Just, I don't know why I want to see it, but I feel like, you know, we're not giving you a ticket, man, but I can't take it. Ma'am, I got another police stop to make, you know. Do you think you could grab a tissue and shut up? You know what I mean? Like, no ticket, all right? You drove erratic. I should give you a ticket, but you're Giselle, Tom Brady's ex. You're banging it out with a fitness guy. He's out there doing whatever. 1-2 Magooing it, I'm sure. 6'5", iron jaw, remember? You know, it was all work. If you go look back at original Tom Brady, go look at original TB. Different guy, you know, whole thing. The grill, everything changed. You know, he's got a good guy, Giselle's guy. You know, they split. Tom's still working with the guy, you know. Can you just like iron this out right here and then like put a freaking drill hole right in here and like really dig it in deep, you know? I want it to look like a hiney butt right there, okay? And then we get the iron chin thing, and I want to even bring these cheekbones up a bit. And so when I go like this, I'm like, dude, you're doing it. Like, are you doing the blue steel? Tom Brady's constantly doing the blue steel. He's the blue steel master. That's where Zoolander got it all from. Of course, it's where he got it from. You checking out? You doing it? You going out to see with Tom Brady? I'm going to do Zoolander 4. I'm going to do it, checking out Ben Stiller? Right? What are you talking about? Owen Wilson sometimes shows up in the middle of the comedy news show. You just have to go with it, guys. Sword-wielding man attacks passerby in London, killing a 13-year-old boy and injuring 4 others. What in the fucking heck is going on in this world? Somebody please share with me what's going on. I can't. I'm living in insane times. It's the Twilight Zone. Are we not looking at the same thing? Yes, we are. Okay, good. I want to make sure you're scrolling with me. I don't want to be scrolling alone here. I'm seeing it all. Supreme Court. Drivers hauling baked goods are in transportation, not baking. Whatever that means. Ethan Hawke reveals who he thinks is the greatest actor of our generation. If he says De Niro, he's walking off the show. Because De Niro stinks. Let's see. I think he's about to say Denzel Washington. Should we listen?
The worst of times. And you know who said that?
What cross
Susan B. Anthony.
Who's
We're
talking
not
what cross
teachers.
swallows?
We're connectivity
I'm
experts.
here with Ethan Hawke.
Optimum,
Ethan,
where local is
could you
big
tell
time.
us?
You said that acting with Denzel Washington was
Acting
like
with
playing
Denzel
baseball
Washington.
with Babe Ruth.
Playing ball with
What do you mean?
I think when all's said and done, he's the greatest actor of our generation. That experience I had on Dead Poets Society, I started having every day, acting with.
Hold
It
on.
was like playing acting with Denzel Washington.
Acting with Denzel Washington. He's such a chooch. Freaking
It was
Chris
like playing
Wallace.
baseball with.
Chris Wallace. Freaking douche, right? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he's a good guy. After 96 years, archaeologists finally found the missing part of the legendary statue, Ramses III. In 1930, German archaeologists uncovered the lower half of a massive statue, estimating that it was likely about 23 feet tall. Now, U.S. and Egyptian archaeologists have announced the discovery of the long missing top half in thankfully pristine condition. A proposal has already been submitted to unite the bottom with the long missing top half, and discoverers are confident of its approval. Some 96 years ago, German archaeologist Gunther Roder, good old Gunther, unearthed the lower half of what would have been a massive 23-foot tall statue of Ramses II, not the third, guys. Ramses III is still out there. That one's in good shape. The nose, though, has been cut off. We don't know what happened to the freaking nose. You know, they cut noses off, you know. Egypt. Roder found the statue 150 miles south of Cairo in the Minya Governorate. What the freaking hell was it 150 miles away? This area is known as the Nile, known as Quimur. It served as a provincial capital in the Old Kingdom of Egypt and was later called Hermopolis Magna when Romans ruled the Mediterranean. Many treasures of the region's illustrious past were known to be buried in the surrounding desert. And while Roder's discovery proved remarkable, the rest of the enormous statue he found remained lost in time until now. So 96 years, they had this bottom half of a statue. Finally, they find it, and it's 150 miles away. This is like, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. They still have no idea about anything when it comes to Egypt. Like, who built all of this, you know? All of this detail. I got a laser engraver in there that cannot perform as good as the work that was done here. This is amazing quality. But what they've done in Egypt, some of the etchings, it's like, there's no way. We are the 7th or 8th civilization that's been here and gotten this far on, you know, and then like we all destroy ourselves. Or there's a flood each time. Ice age. It's always some sort of cataclysmic event. We make it up that like, what's climate change? We have some control over that. No, dude, we're just along for the freaking ride. Just take you get on your surfboard and go, man. Because one day something's going to happen and the whole thing is going to change. And it's not because we were here and we created carbon. That's mental. Carbon follows the heat, the movement of the global temperature. It's not the other way around. Now, you have to go back like 750,000 years to see that. But the point is that we can't change anything. All the things they want to do, bring down the CO2 level by 0.04%, some ridiculous, it's like it does nothing. Nothing we do is going to have any effect. So let's just stop. You're on a ride, enjoy the ride. One day there's going to be a flood. One day there's going to be another ice age. One day it's going to get so hot that you're not going to be able to live here anymore. It's all going to happen. So what the freaking hell? Stop pretending like we have control over it or that our actions are making that much of a difference, because they're not. They're really not. If they were, they wouldn't, and that's what it is. I'm sorry. The atmosphere is 0.04% carbon. Like, what the freaking heck? It's 0.04%. Nothing in the world that's 0.04% has any impact on anything, any scale. You could say anything like, oh, Bill Gates has got an X amount of money. Oh, well, this guy's 0.04% to Bill Gates. He's almost as rich as Bill Gates. That guy is a freaking scrub who's scraping by. 0.04% is nothing in the grand scheme on any scale. So what are we doing here? Destroying the world, spending trillions of dollars on an effort that does nothing to reverse things. You can't reverse things. You're on a friggin' ride. An engineer says he found a way to overcome Earth's gravity. I gotta read this one. Discovering a machine that could somehow produce thrust without releasing propellant would be a game changer for human space travel. There's just one problem. Such a device would defy the laws of physics. This limitation has not stopped people from investigating the possibility, and the latest addition to the propellantless club is an electrostatic design developed by a former NASA engineer. while the company behind the drive, Exodus Propulsion Technologies, says the drive can achieve the thrust to counteract Earth's gravity, such a claim still needs independent verification and a healthy dose of skepticism. In 2001, British electrical engineer Roger Scheuer first introduced the Impossible drive. Known as the M drive, it's called Impossible because its creator purported that the drive was reactionless, meaning no propellant required. In other words, it defied the known laws of physics, specifically the conservation of momentum. As with anything that appears to thumb its nose at Newton and Einstein, scientists raised more than a few eyebrows, and 2 decades of testing eventually boiled down to an inevitable and somewhat predictable conclusion in 2021. The M drive was bunk, but that's the nature of the scientific method. Take a seamlessly impossible idea, put it through rigorous testing, and hopefully get an unassailable conclusion or new discoveries that lead to other directions. But the not based in physics dream of a propellantless machine didn't die with M drive. Now a new challenger approaches, and this one has a former NASA scientist backing it up. And you guys know NASA. They're really, good with Photoshop. While at NASA, Charles Bueller, Voodoo Economics, Bueller, right? He helped establish the electrostatics and surface physics laboratory at Kennedy Space Center in Florida, a very important lab that basically ensures rockets don't explode. That's an important lab, you're right. Now, as a co-founder of the space company Exodus Propulsion Technologies, Bueller told the website The Debrief that he's created a drive powered by a new force. This is the force, guys. Outside our current known laws of physics, they're giving the propellantless drive enough boost to overcome gravity. That's pretty cool. The most important message to convey to the public is that major discovery occurred. Bueller, new force is fundamental, and the electric fields alone can generate a sustainable force onto an object and allow center of mass translation of said object without expelling mass. You guys get it, with your science hats on. Trust it. Bueller stressed that the work is unaffiliated with NASA because NASA's crap, Let me just see something here. Sorry, just responding to a message. All right. So, in an interview, Apex co-founder Tim Ventura, Bueller explained how his background in electricity, it led to the discovery because of his background, where he was really doing work at NASA. He was like, I want to do some real work here. And they're like, can you keep doing the fake work where we tell people we've gone to the moon? Can you keep doing the fake work where we're like, look, guys, this is a nebula. And like, look, that's the star. And stars have mass. Can you keep doing that, pretending? Instead of that, like, stars are energy, and you could shoot them with a telescope, and it looks like they're underwater, because there's water above as the water below. God said it, page 1 in my 1775 Bible. If you guys don't know, I was the guy with the 1775 Bible, 13 months. Everybody else tagged along, and they're like, oh, I was reading my 1775 Bible. I'm like, were you? I have it over here. You have one too? Oh, you were reading my content, you mean, and just pretending you're the guy and getting millions of views? That chooch. That's when I realized it's really, we're dealing, Tennille, how are you? So good to see you. We're dealing with the ultimate of discrimination against people with a voice, but most importantly, specific looking people too. And that's the best way I could say it. If you are someone of minority and you're creating content, they'll freaking throw millions of views at you. It's like the weirdest thing. But if you happen to be somebody who's considered, and I'm not white by any means, this is white, I'm definitely not white. But if you are somebody who's considered a Caucasian or whatever, and you create the content, they're like, I'll just let that sit on the sideline. There's a lot of weird stuff. I don't know. I feel like there's, and I always say reverse. There's no such thing. It's just discrimination. There's no such thing as reverse discrimination. It's just discrimination, you know. But when you create content every day, you're live every day, and they don't let people find you, see you. And when you put out great content, other people can create content off your content and get millions of views, but you don't get millions of views. There's a real problem with the system. And you know, I'm here 1,947 days in a row. You know what I mean? That's like insane. It's insane. Anyway, so physics, engineer, he found it. He said, maybe this is, we're going to start dealing with Jetsons stuff. I want to get in a Jetsons car. You know? And I'm going Spacely Sprockets. I'm working at Spacely Sprockets now. I'm sorry, no longer a realtor. I was selling homes, listing homes, working with buyers until they messed with the system. And then all of a sudden, Spacely Sprockets. I'm there. I got sprockets to build, you know? Am I... Here comes Elroy, George the cat. Is he like a dog? I don't even know. And there's Rosie. I'm George Jetson. Oh, goodness, you got to do it with George Jetson, you know. I think we got enough news for the day, guys. I don't know. The Mustang is the most heavily trashed Mustang we've seen, and it's been restored. I'm going to see this because, you know, I build instruments now, especially we're building mandolin. I'm building a second mandolin, by the way. I'm like, fuck it, we're doing it. This is going to be the top. This is flame maple, and it's like ridiculous flame maple. This is the same flame maple that I used for the amp. So I'll have a mandolin that matches my amp and matches my beat seat. And we have the mandolin that I'm building, which is all walnut and has that ridiculous white section of the walnut, which the neck has been drying for a little while. I'm going to leave it all day. I don't know if it's going to stay because I pulled this neck off of the old mandolin. There was some epoxy. I tried to sand all of it off, and then I put wood glue. I don't know if it's going to stick. I may have to put a couple of freaking screws in that thing, you know what I mean, to get it to hold. We'll see. But right now, it's drying, and then we're going to add everything else and see if it works. That's how we do it here. Look at this, the meth stain. And so that's what it looked like to the left there. And then now we got this on the right. Let's see that. So they kept like, I guess they just want to keep the vibe. I mean, really, it doesn't look like they did anything to it, except just put new pickups in. That's it, new pickups. It's been restored. I mean, it's a freaking same. They put a fretboard on it. You gotta be kidding me. They put a fretboard on it. Look, there's a fretboard. Oh, and they put the whammy bar back on, guys, and strings. Now it has strings. These pickups, I mean, they may have even kept those pickups. They look like the same pickups. I bet you they just cleaned the pickups and then put them back in. These connectors here, this is I don't even know what these were, but those have been put back. That's the only thing that's been added back is these stupid things. Wow, that's amazing. I see it. This guy's probably got millions of views for that. I built an amp. I just put it up last week. Go take a look at that. And I didn't get the last parts of this Mando. I'm kind of sad that I didn't film putting the neck on and all that stuff. I wanted to do that. Anyway, U.S. buys 81 Soviet-era combat aircraft from Russia's ally, costing an average less than $20,000 each. Fact check. Blurry NASA allegedly photo shows Saturn's largest moon. Blurry NASA allegedly photo shows Saturn's largest moon, Titan. That's the weirdest freaking thing I've ever read. Stupid. Rare statue sat hidden in dried up pond at 800-year-old temple. Until now. In Cambodia. I don't really care. I'm never going to Cambodia. Scientist says he's evidence that we live in a simulation. Hello. This is the one I've been looking for. I knew it. We're Matrix style. You know, you can't be doing this every day and getting to nobody. Oh, we're freaking Matrix. Let's see, are there any family members with us? I got Will in the house. Tennille's here. J.E.'s here. Helen Gale Tales is here. DM Ryan. Harvey. Woo! You know? Look, this scientist says he knows. He has evidence that we live in a simulation. Many philosophers and scientists have pondered if we live in a simulated universe. University of Portsmouth scientist Melvin Vopson believes he has evidence. Using his previously formulated second law of infodynamics, Vopson claims that the decrease in entropy in information systems over time could prove that the universe has been built in data optimization and compression, which speaks to its digital nature. While these claims warrant investigation, they're far from a discovery themselves and would likely need rigorous proof for the scientific community at large to seriously consider the theory. In 1999 film The Matrix, Thomas Anderson, Mr. Anderson, aka Neo, discovers a truth to end all truths. The universe is a simulation. While the premise provides fantastic sci-fi fodder, and explains how Neo can learn Kung Fu in about 5 seconds. Hi-ya! I just did it too in 1 second. Hi, neck chop! I was a neck chop master. You go backwards in the neck chop. Yeah. So the idea isn't quite as carefully regulated as the fiction section as one might expect. University of Portsmouth scientist Melvin Vopson, who studies the possibility that the universe might indeed be a digital facsimile, leans into the cinematic comparison. In an article published on the website The Conversation this past October, Vopson invoked the Wachowskis' sci-fi masterpiece. Around the same time, he published a book on the subject, Reality Reloaded, a subtle hat to the tip of the title and less successful Matrix sequel. While he just was one among many who contemplated the idea, Vopson claims that he have the one thing that those before him lacked: evidence. Vopson. In physics, there are laws that govern everything that happens in the universe. For example, on how objects move, how energy flows, and so on, everything is based on the law of physics, Vopson said. One of the most powerful laws is the second law of thermodynamics, which establishes the entropy, that a measure of disorder is an isolated system, can only increase or stay the same, but it will never decrease. Based on this famous law, Vopson similarly expected that entropy in the information systems, which is previously research defined as the fifth state of matter, should increase over time. Why are we saying similarly twice in a row when I can't even say it once clearly? The morning show. Sometimes you got to warm up the lips. Sometimes. It remains constant, decreases to a minimum value of equilibrium. This is in a direct contrast to the second law of thermodynamics, guys, if you went to school for that. It inspired Vopson to adopt the second law of information dynamics, or infodynamics. We know the universe is expanding without the loss of or gain of heat, which requires the total entropy of the universe to be constant. How do we know that the universe is still expanding? Like, how do we know any of this? Everything seems made up to me. The stars are so far away that it took 60 million years for the light to reach you. Shut your freaking hole. You're an idiot. I can see the stars. It's light. It's there. I open my eyes. It's there. You think, oh, so it just finally reached me. Unreal, you know. You keep believing that one. Yeah. And it's a round surface. Right below me, there's somebody upside down living right now. And they're upside down. It's nighttime, though. Water needs a container. Thanks for coming out. Guys, we're back at it. 6th hour in the house. Oh, my goodness. It will be like a movie when we start doing a real Matrix deal with Vopson. Vopson comes out in the conversation. He says exactly we're observing all around us, including the digital data, biological systems, mathematical symmetries, and the entire universe. And we went to the moon, he said. He finished with that so we can know he was telling the truth. James Gunn confused by a conspiracy theory over Henry Cavill's Superman recasting. My Superman was always intended as and pitched as a new story. Okay, freaking James Gunn. Right? I liked Cavill. Cable's a good-looking dude. That's a good Superman right there. Is there an audition? Be open for Supermark, you know? Give it a shot. Meryl Streep reveals Nicole Kidman went skinny dipping before filming Big Little Lies. Oh, wow, that's so interesting. 30 years ago when she was like a kid. She was like 20 years old. Great. Now she's 50, you know? She's got that arm. You saw it. Chinese water cannon damages ship in new China Sea flare-up. You guys know all about it. Sherman, LA-based guitar repairer Ryan Sherman, on how he landed the guitar repair gig of a lifetime. John Lennon's lost 12-string famous Hootenanny acoustic guitar has come a long way. After 50-plus years, it was found in an attic of a home just outside of London. Now it is expected to reach an $800,000 price tag. Guys, upcoming auction. Who's going to try to buy it for $800K? Guitar repairer Ryan Sherman is the main man behind the one-of-a-kind restoration project. In a recent interview with the LA Times, Sherman explained how it's the biggest gig of his life. You know, he's just fixing guitars, and now all of a sudden he's fixing a 12-string, Lennon's 12-string. Look at him. He's a Magoo. He's excited about it. Crappy guitar, you know, plywood crap guitar, 800 grand because Lennon owned it. His hands are off of it for so long now. This Sherman's hands have been all over it now. You're buying an $800,000 Sherman guitar. Oh, look, it was Lennon's guitar. I could build you that guitar today. I'll even get those crap tuners, pop it on, send it over to Shermer. He sends me back that one. $800K richer, you know? But then he's giving away a real Sherman. Cool guitar alert. I had the opportunity to restore John Lennon's 1964 famous Hootenanny that he played on the albums Help and Rubber Soul. It was recently discovered after being in an attic for over 50 years. I had a blast working on it and couldn't be happier on how it turned out. I'm grateful to Julian's Auctions and Pushian for trusting me with such a special instrument. It's freaking plastic. It's made of like laminate wood. Oh, we got the Duty Hootenanny, the famous Hootenanny. I saw a famous Hootenanny. I kicked it to the curb. I'm like, I don't need it. I'd build a cigar guitar, 12-string, before I play the Hootenanny. Oh, Lennon played it? That hack? I'm just kidding. Oh, goodness. You guys know I just like to be a goofball. Try to make you laugh a little bit, you know? Oh, man. You know, sometimes when you're in it, you gotta roll. You gotta roll with it. So Nancy Pelosi accuses MSNBC host of being apologist for DJ Donald J. Trump. Look, we're not doing no politics here. We don't do political news. Roman object that baffled experts to go on show in Lincoln Museum. You guys know what that is? That's a dodecahedron. Betcha. How about you want to bet that's a dodecahedron? A mysterious Roman artifact found during an amateur archaeological dig is going on public display in Lincolnshire for the first time. The object is one of 35 dodecahedrons found in Britain. Nailed it! Oh, goodness. Sometimes you got a reference. And the first to be discovered in the Midlands. It was discovered in northern Disney, you know, near Lincoln in the summer of 2023. The artifact is one of the largest found. It's 3 inches tall and weighs 8 ounces. 12-sided object was unearthed by a group of local volunteers. Guys, dodecahedron. Look at that. That's freaking pretty cool, actually. I wonder who made that. Thomas, how are you doing with that dodecahedron? Well, freaking hurry it up, you know? There's only 32 more out there. We got to get the 33rd. Anyway, alongside the dodecahedron, visitors can learn more about Lincoln's Roman past and explore other finds unearthed across the city and country. Andrea Martin, exhibits and interpretations manager at the museum, said having a dodecahedron at the show was a real coup for local history fans and the visitors to the city. She said the festival was also a chance for residents and visitors alike to discover more about Lincoln's story. So there you go, guys. Dodecahedron. We had a comedy news day for you. I'll tell you what, a lot to be cutting out from this show. I'll have to knock it out for you. Because that's what we do. Joanne, can you please put me back on the screen? I was on the screen. Now I'm off the screen. Would be nice. Thank you. You know, sometimes. Sometimes she just wastes my morning. And I'm all alone. I'm doing the show to nobody. I'm not even on the screen. Trish Killian, Hilly Billy. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for stopping in. Please push replay. It was a funny show. It usually is in the morning. This evening, music coming at you. 432 hertz with my new amp. And I'm thinking maybe we'll have the Mando ready. I don't think so, but we'll try. So, until later, let me see who's here with me. Come on, mate. Who's on the air with me? I'm here doing a show. Fantastic. Indeed, jolly air. DM Ryan, Helen Gale Townsend, Hilly Billy, Trish Killian, Will. And if 6 hours still out there, 6 hours. Over at TikTok, you guys rock. I'm going to say goodbye to you as well, so don't go anywhere. Oh, goodness. I'm going to do later when we do it all over again. We'll see you guys later. Don't know if I have a piece of content out for you, but I am working on tons of stuff. Please watch some of the other stuff that's already up. There's 3,500 pieces of content on my YouTube channel, guys. MarkinsPires. Hope to see you later. Have a great day. Until later.